Hello YouTube. Start another rocket stove design here, so we better film it while we're making it. I thought I'd show this. This is my safety can opener. This is the kind they had at the store. I've had this about 6 months now. They make a smaller version which you can modify to cut tops out of pop cans, but I'm happy with this. It's spring loaded, it pulls over. And before I pull this all the way off, I'll show you. Safety can. I'm sure most people have seen that before I pull all the way off. This leaves that nice ridge. There's a nice ridge in there, no sharp edge. Okay, I've been figuring out a way to put these together. This has both ends cut out. I have some of the foil tape on there to keep these nice and squared. I will make some tabs that go on here to put a screw on either side or a rivet. Hopefully a rivet will work. It won't stick in as far as the screw. It makes it nice and smooth in there. I'm thinking making it 3 high. Barely fits on the camera sitting at the desk here. Okay. Then, for the intake part, what this is a big can of air freshener. So I don't want to mess with no spray can with paint. You'd have to paint it. This is a big can of air freshener. It's taller than a spray can. So we're going to shove it inside like my other little mini rocket stove, make a hole. Stick out about that far. Maybe get it out on this side. It's not going to stick out real far. Another reason I like, I'll be taking and cutting this out with my Leatherman can opener tool. It leaves a nice heavy ridge here. Be one size bigger rocket stove. Trying to make these easy. Anybody can find a safety lid can opener. It does make a nice smooth transition. If you look down in there where those fit together, that's nice and smooth. I don't know if I'm going to wrap a piece of tin can this way or just put little tabs. It's probably going to be little tabs because you try wrapping stuff and it'll probably be like 3 tabs. This tape is going to burn off eventually, but it works really good for holding these together. This stuff is gooey, so it works real well for sticking these together. I mean, they're really solid together. You can set it and flex it back and forth. So, thought I'd show that. Before I get too far in the project, I'm going to make this a real short video compared to the other one. I thought I'd show the basics there. You can always refer back to my other one, how I cut this can. I'll have it shoved through there and I'll cut out the shape of it by sticking a marker down in there. Which that will be done on this can before I cut the bottom out of this one and stick it on top. So I'll do all my bottom work on this one before I hook them together. Just to throw that in there. Haven't cut the bottom out of this one yet. I save my cans for projects. I've got plenty of cans around. I need to start doing something. This is a smaller, just to show you the difference. This is probably like vegetables or something. These are a tall soup can, off-brand. Tall. Name brand I think might be a little bit taller, but really get you some height, get the tall can. That's just an off-brand soup. So it is a pretty tall can. I think some of the name brands might be a little taller, but throw all that in there. And we'll just show the basics on this video and then what it looks like when it's done. We won't have all the step-by-step details. I've showed how I've cut these. This diamond blade works really good. You can cut the bottom off. I have an opener that will cut this lip off. It's like a reject can opener. Very dangerous. You cut this off to get your can open. That's worse than a regular old style can opener. I don't know why it's made that way, but I do have a can opener like that. I found it at a thrift store, but these work really well. Just be careful, wear goggles. That's your little diamond blade. Don't go super fast. It will cut through a tin can very easily, especially riding against this ridge. If that's all you have to cut cans apart, if you want the tin. But I like this ridge for strength. Okay, enough of that. Back. Okay, I thought I'd better show this. Made a paper template, which both ends were the same, close to it. Okay. I put it on the can and drew it. And what you have to do is, I cut it out with my diamond blade, and I'm using this to make the hole bigger, just a stone on a Dremel. Light's not the greatest in here today. See where I have the marker line? See where I'm getting it stuck in there? Get your top and bottom to fit first. Your top and bottom is going to fit first, because the way the can's made, we'll pull it out of there. It's going to start hitting here first. Get that measured. And when I put this template on here, I drew my Sharpie marker around it. I stayed and left the line. Okay? So you have something to go by. This is a new line, because I already did it on the other side and ground the line away. As you've seen before, we're going to take a little more. Take your time on this. I do. I don't care if it takes me a half hour or what it takes me to fit this, because it'll be fit together good without using a bunch of goop, sealer, or trying to bolt it together. But I just thought I'd show that. So take your time. You see how the hole is. Your hole is always going to be more elliptical. When you look at it, it's always going to look taller than it is wider. It's kind of an optical illusion. To mess with your head there. I do sometimes line up on this back seam so you can look through there and kind of eyeball it. But you can see I have to take that much more off. And these stones work good, just be careful. Like I always say, wear your goggles. When I cut it out with the diamond blade, I stayed within the line. It's well worth it to slowly grind it away so it fits good. I'll be up from the bottom so I don't have the fire directly on the bottom of the can, because whatever this sets in. This may be one without a liner. I may just make one of these, fire it up, and see how good it works. I'm not too worried about some of the stuff of keeping the heat in there. I know they say it makes it burn better, more efficient, but I want to figure out what's the best length tubes for smaller ones. Anybody can make a big 3 or 4 inch tube one. I'm trying to come up with a smaller design. I'm sure they all work, but this is a nice big can. This was an air freshener can. It was apple cinnamon, so I don't care if it gets on me. If I got to smell it all day, you can see some residue left in there where it's gathered the grinder dust. Another one of my favorite smells there. Okay, we'll get back. I just want to show on film real quick how good this grindstone will work. How good these work. And I try not to go like this and make groove. I'm going to make it. Good to wearing gloves. Hot gloves. I just thought I'd show how good that works. And real quick, I cut this can right when it tapers. You look at how spray cans are when they taper, they crimp lip. I cut it and left that taper. I went real close to what, kind of similar. You look at the bottom how it's tapered. Cut real close to that edge. You can use hacksaw or anything. That way I have a natural taper to start fitting it through the hole. We are getting closer. We're getting very close. We want this to fit together real good. We're getting very close. I think I may take some off this side. Being that it popped in over there pretty good, I think I'll go over to this side now and take some off. Take your time. This looks pretty rounded. I think I'll take some off of this one. I'll just take my marker. I'll just take my marker and go like this and kind of mark just anywhere in this general area. Take about yay much off. Then grind it. Thought I'd show that. I don't want this to go too fast, not show detail where if no one's ever did this, how nice it is to have a Dremel tool. Like my diamond blade too. I showed that in another video. I can't find it right now. My little diamond blade. You can cut cans apart. Works really well. Just wear goggles. I'd recommend a full face mask, but at least I have goggles on. But we'll get back to work so we can get this fit together.